Hey, Colab Coach here again to share some wise words of wisdom for the week. So excited to get into this week. So excited to talk to you as you may be watching in 2026 or beyond. that this year we're focusing on topics that were talked about, that are being talked about within your family group, within your friend group, within your community, social media. But we're talking about them in a healthy way, in a very very healthy way. With that being said, some of these topics may be triggering, and this is your warning. So, this week we're talking about you have to let them go. You have to let them go. Now, I'm not talking about people who have passed on this world and went to the next world. I'm talking about people currently alive, and I'm talking about people that you currently have situations with that are not positive or productive. A lot of times we have people in our lives that we have around that are really not benefiting us. They are there, they maybe are taking advantage of you. And I don't want to get into that specifics of why, but there are people in your life that don't no longer serve a purpose. Maybe you have hoped that this person with or people were going to be in your life forever. Sometimes you have great friendships with people when they start. You have great relationships with significant other when it starts. You have great communication with a friend or a coworker initially when it starts, but as over time you see that maybe you don't have things that you're in common with. Maybe there are things that you don't agree with that are hurting or hindering you in your personal growth, and you are at a situation at a point in your life where there's no purpose being served. And instead of, a lot of times, like myself, I've been in those situations where a lot of times when you know the writings on the wall, as the saying goes, and you know that things are not being progressive, things are not being fruitful, you just have them around. You have conversations that lead to nowhere. You go out and hang out when you're not really serving a purpose there, and it's hard. It's hard for you to make that first decision. A lot of times when you're in these situations, people tend to say, "Oh, well, you've waited out, and eventually it will just die out." But what if you're in a situation where it doesn't die out? You still see that there's interest from that person, but you really don't see the benefit in that relationship anymore, or you see that that person is just keeping you around just to get something from you. Maybe they're taking your time, maybe they're taking your effort, maybe your ear, just to be a physical person in front of them, to be a soundboard when they need to vent. And you're like, I'm not really getting anything from this. It's maybe that person is getting something from you, or you both know that there's nothing good here, but you still force it. And a lot of times we tend to force relationships to continue to grow. You tend to force relationships that that are no longer fruitful, and we tend to be in a deadlock when it comes to these type of situations, because you know that if you make the decision, it's going to be tough on you because you have to make the decision. A lot of times people are afraid to make these decisions because it is something that's out of their norm, out of their comfort zone, and it's out of their capacity. For example, you may want to end a friendship, you may want to end a relationship, like intimate relationship, but there's too much that goes along with that. Maybe you have the same friend groups, maybe you have the same community. You may have the same, go to the same church. Maybe you may have the same relationships as far as parentals, and maybe one person's parent or aunt, uncle, grandma, whatever it may be, they like you. They like the other person, and you feel like if you decide to make a decision to change that, it's gonna change the whole dynamic of your surroundings, your community, and it may be continue to be, they're gonna ask like, oh, what happened to so and so, or what I don't see so and so around that much. And it a lot of people think about those type of things, and it leads to fear, and it leads to uncomfortability, and it leads to you worrying about, well, what's going to happen next. You've had this person in your life for a certain amount of time, and now you don't know what life will be without this person around you. And again, I'm not saying that it may be a most difficult situation for you. Maybe you just needed to watch this video just to get some affirmation for you to, okay, yeah, you're right, I need to let this person go. But when you're the person that is like, okay, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, or I don't want to change the whole dynamic around me, my whole environment, by letting this person go, and you're afraid. You're afraid. Fear kicks in. You feel like I'd rather just let it die off on its own, but a year goes by, 2 years go by, 3 years go by, and you still are stuck in this routine, this cycle of I don't really want to be around this person anymore. This person doesn't look like they really care about me that much anymore, but we're just still going around in a circle until someone makes a move. I'm here to say it may be time for you to make that move. You have to let that person go. Not just for you, but for that person as well. If that person is not strong enough to make that decision, you have to be strong enough to make that decision. You have to be strong enough to let go of a situation that is no longer beneficial for you. And yes, it may hurt, but at the same time, it'll be freeing once that dust settles, once things start to realign, and you'll be able to make that decision for yourself because you care about yourself enough. Simple as that. So, to make this as simple as possible, you have to let them go. It may be a friendship, it may be a relationship, it may be a coworker. Maybe you initially had a great relationship with this person. You had a lot of things in common, things were great, but then over time it started to go stale. You didn't see any benefit in that situation anymore, but you're still holding on to it because maybe that person is getting something from you or you're getting something from that person, but in reality of it all, it's not allowing you to become the best version of yourself. You have to make that decision on your own to let go. Now I know there's going to be repercussions. Maybe you have family ties, maybe you have community ties, maybe you have been so used to this presence that you can't see yourself without that person. But you have to ask yourself this one simple question: is this relationship beneficial? Is it benefiting me? Am I getting anything out of it? And if you're not, then you know you have to let that person go. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, and fear may come. Fear may come and try to tell you to just let it go and let it just die by itself. But a year may go by, 2 years may go by, 3 years may go by until that actually does happen. Why wait when you can make a decision now to benefit yourself so that it will be freeing for you to create new relationships that you know you're going to get something positive out of it. It's going to help you become a better person. Simple as that. So if you're struggling with this and you need to find strategies and ways to help yourself to let go of certain people in your life, message me. Go to my website, yourcolabcoach.com, fill out the relationship checklist, sign up for that free 15-minute coaching session to see if we're a good fit for each other. Facebook Colab Coaching, Instagram Colab Coaching. All my videos, all my series are on YouTube, COLAB Coaching. Like and subscribe. And share this with anyone that you know is struggling to let that person go. It's not easy, but it'll be freeing. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.